Good morning. It is time for a chilly garden tour. Laurel here, Minnesota Zone 4. We got down into the 20s for the first time last night. So I have been in a mad dash to frantically clear out all of the pots on my patio because it's not really going to warm up. It's a really long cold snap. So temperatures aren't going to get out of the 30s or maybe low 40s for the next 2 weeks, which is about 10 degrees below average. So I had to get everything cleared out, but I just wanted to share fall color here. Everything changes so rapidly that it's even every couple days there are just big differences, and then it's all gone. So this dogwood has really pretty pink edges on the leaves that starts to come out in the cool weather. This one's called Strawberry Daiquiri, and it gets that golden leaves there. And these two viburnum are just beautiful. Those are Bailey's Compact American Cranberry Viburnum. They don't get enough sun to really flower or put on their red berries, but the color is gorgeous. Got Heucherella over here. This hosta is blue drinking gourd hosta, and I don't quite remember it getting this big in the past, or this bright in the past. So I love that pretty gold color. Just adds to the charm of the garden. Again, some pretty colors. That Virginia is getting a little more red tones. Not a lot of action on these geranium yet. Maybe that's still coming. I've got, this grass is really pretty. That's Haconocaloa. It does get some fall colors, and then it has those kind of purplish pink seed heads in there that are really pretty. And just the golden edges on the hosta. And all the way down here, I do have my old garden bed laying on the grass. We got a ton of rain this week, so that actually helped wash it off a little bit, but I need to get that cleaned up and stored for the winter. Get it out of the way. Look over on this side. This is a Tor birchleaf spirea. I haven't had the opportunity of seeing any fall color on that before because it always defoliated from fungal disease. Still has little signs of it. You can see those spots on the leaves are the fungus, but I had moved it and really cleaned it out, gave it better airflow last year, so it's doing much better this summer. Still some pink on the, what's it called? Limelight Prime hydrangea. And of course, Heucherella is just looking beautiful as always. These coleus and that canna are toast, but that's okay, to be expected. I have some sale perennials to plant here. These are some Cat's Pajama Nepeta that I got for half price. This is an opening act phlox. I have two of these in a different color up front, and absolutely loved them. So when I saw that for half price, I snatched it up. A couple echinacea. The ground will stay warm for a long time, so I'll have time to plant all of these yet in the coming weeks. And this is a Veronica Vernique Shining something. I have some Veronica back here, but they always, no matter where I've put them, I moved them a couple times, they always get that mildew. They keep blooming, but they look kind of icky. This one's supposed to be mildew resistant, so I just bought one. We're going to try it out. I can always add more if it's successful. This is a lemon jade sedum. That was 75% off. Yeah, those coleus are seen better days for sure. This is really pretty. This is Anna's Magic Ball Arbovita, and it's gold all summer, but it gets these kind of bronzy leaf tips. Really pretty. I'm hoping, I don't know if I need to cover, if I might cover that this year. It got a little smushed under the snow last year, but we also got like record snowfall, so like third snowiest winter. That is a pot that I'm going to have to clear out and get out of there. Cosmos. I guess it wasn't cold enough to really kill back the cosmos just yet. This lovely late one. Guess it's not looking super happy. These two dahlia I'll have to dig up and save the tubers. I'll pull out. This is an annual. You can see it seeded itself everywhere underneath. Some seedlings might pop up next year too from the seeds that have dropped. But I did save seeds. Oh, this zinnia got hit by the heat, but Gomphrena here. This is Gomphrena carmine. Love this. Very tough. It does not seem bothered. Dahlias, I had cut all the nice flowers. Same with the zinnias already. So expected them to. It's just going to get colder over the next few days too. So I've been working hard clearing this stuff out. There's the new Vago garden bed. That's the 6-in-1 bed. It has settled a little bit with all the rain, which is good. I'll probably plant garlic in this end, but I'll top it up so it's like almost mounded, because I put all logs and sticks and twigs underneath the soil when my friend came over and helped me put this one in. So it's definitely going to settle a lot over winter. I harvested all my peppers. Those are looking frostbitten. Same with this Gomphrena over here. Looks a little bit worse than the other. There's always little microclimates. This is dill that self-seeded everywhere. Harvested my squash. Let the squirrels have this little baby one that wasn't going to mature. And then they got one. There's just the shell of it in the grass over there. They got that one already. A little bit of color over here. We'll go over that. I do have some carrots. They're going to be small. When I harvested carrots out of my other raised bed, the one that I replaced with the Vago bed, it was a lot more than I expected. I cut off the greens. My friend takes those. She's very crafty. She makes a dye out of the carrot tops. But when I put all the carrots, when I washed them off and put them in a 5-gallon bucket, it overflowed the bucket, and I weighed it, and it was 27 pounds. So good harvest of carrots. But those last all winter. As long as they're in a bag to keep crisp and in the fridge, they'll last till next summer. Nemesia still blooming over here. That's an annual. We'll get into the lower 20s, I think, after this weekend, so a lot of this stuff will be gone. The Sun King Aurelia's got some color on it. Leaves looking a little limp from the cold. But that is, of course, hardy here. This viburnum just has a teeny bit of, also all of my viburnum get a lot of shade. Just a hint of color there. And my new plantings. This heucherella gets really pretty color. It's kind of a minty, icy green in the summer. More heucherella. These are the lungwort anyway, is semi-evergreen. So that will stay looking nice. Wow, the Bidens are looking good still. I couldn't remember how much frost those could handle. Echinacea, the petals look a little droopy. Firelight hydrangeas, getting really fully into their fall color now. Really pretty. I might walk around to the front yard as well. Just take a peek at what's up there. Oh, these begonias were looking really nice yesterday, but you can see not so much. They're definitely frostbitten. Not dead, but just got ice on my little bird bath there. Yeah, impatiens, not so much. I do have perennial to plant where that planter is, so I'll have to get that out of here. I love this yellow one, this hosta. Looks like a little firework or something. There's a nice little blue jay. I am amazed that this one is still looking so beautiful. This is verbena, whiteout. Petunia, super petunia latte. I guess the lophos blooms. Got a little nipped, but that actually looks pretty fresh for the end of October. The Ajuga's getting its fall color too. A lot of foliage color in this garden. I didn't look at those begonias. Yeah. You know, they're not terrible. The mother cat was out here last night eating her food. She definitely had her kittens a couple weeks ago. Pretty sure she's nursing now. Another begonia planter. This is a little bit sheltered by this. This is really pretty color too. The red-berried elderberry growing in the neighbor's yard and kind of arching over. Gives me a little shady spot in the summer for this bench. That is a native plant too. I'll have to rip everything out of this planter too. It does have pretty frost hardy stuff. The alyssum's frost hardy. The verbena, that geranium, or not geranium, begonia is looking pretty good, but it's maybe sheltered a little bit. Oh wow, yay, this salvia, a little bit more color. Maybe we'll get to see a bloom, but I thoroughly enjoyed the foliage all season. Perennials looking good. Yeah, those impatiens. Just gorgeous. Just kidding. But the Dichondra Silver Falls looks amazing. That is one tough plant. More of the gold color on the honeysuckle. It is getting up high, a little bit of red and orange. Oh, there's a woodpecker on the bird feeder. Sedum, again, alyssum. That grass was blue mohawk something. It was in one of the planters I cleared out, but I thought, well, I'll just stick it in the ground. It'll be a little decoration for now till it dies and or gets covered by snow. Definitely some fall color showing here, especially on the interior of the tiny wine 9 bark. Obviously the coleus, not so happy. But this dogwood is getting a little bit more color now too. I have to appreciate it because I don't know if we get down to like 20 degrees overnight, a lot of these plants, their leaves are just going to freeze. They won't have a gradual color change and fall off. They're just going to freeze. But we'll see. More color on the hostas. That's a Ligularia back there. I think it's Desdemonda. The variety. It's interesting though, the amount of shelter, just the fact that these are tucked in under this arborvitae, which is kind of hanging over. The dogwood hangs over a little bit. And this honeysuckle, while it still has its leaves, it creates a little bit of a insulating effect for the other plants around it. Versus if they were just out in the open. And especially it's been windy, that has a big effect too. So you can see most of the planters are cleared up, done. I got a bunch of them stored for winter, but the big ones, some of these I won't get the root balls out. I'll just store them as is. And then in the spring I'll have to tip them out and clean out the soil. Here are some things that I'm going to bring indoors. This vinca and the creeping Jenny, that's all hardy. This has survived now. This will be its 3rd winter on the porch. I'll cut it back in the spring pretty hard. Dusty Miller, New Look is the variety. Look at this cabbage, this thing. It is one plant. Just kept going all summer. Now it has putting out like multiple heads here. And that's not, it's edible, but it's not meant to be eaten. It's an ornamental cabbage. Probably doesn't taste all that great. I had a couple strawberries that I dug up. Emptying out my bird bath. I need to clean that. Get that stored. And I just have perennials down here. Oh, I kind of forgot about this one. This is the, what's it called again? Blew my mind evolvulus. Again, a little bit sheltered. The house, or the edge of the shed, creates a microclimate. You can kind of see some of my houseplants in there. Maybe wasn't expecting visitors to the porch, but I will maybe take a peek on there. You can see I sort of transition things. I pulled the elephant ears out of here last night. And I have a few things in the shed right now. I didn't unlock it yet, but it's like I have to work in stages. And usually I have a couple weeks to do this. You know, we might get a cold snap, but it lasts a few days, and then we'll get back to our normal high 40s, low to mid 50s weather. But it's like the next 2 weeks straight in the forecast, it's going to be 20s or low 30s overnight, and it's barely going to get out of the 30s during the day. So the soil is going to freeze, and it just won't get, even though it's above freezing, it's not warm enough for it to thaw. So I had to really rush and get as much cleaned out as I could, because these have to be stored. Because in the winter, we're going to have a huge pile of snow next to the door. I line up the patio furniture along the side of the shed, and then we clear the snow all the way to the back of the patio and into the yard. Again, hopefully we don't have 90 inches of snow this winter like we did last winter. But, you know, I live in the city, and you can see the houses are very close together. So we blow the snow kind of into the neighbor's backyard as well. But in between the houses, there's not much space. And you don't want to pile up snow next to your foundation, because then you have major issues with water in your basement and damaging your foundation. So yeah, it's tricky. But 90 inches of snow is a lot. That's a lot. These two, both Plectranthus, actually didn't do too bad. Even this begonia, it was tucked up against the porch and sheltered by this ivy. This ivy I overwinter. I've had it for 3-4 years, probably 4 years now. I think it might be hardy in my zone if I planted it outside, but I don't want it to take over. So I just pop it on the porch for the winter, and you just have to, the soil freezes along with any of these perennials that I can't get planted if I run out of time. I'll put them in the shed or on the porch to overwinter. And they do, you know, they're not actively growing. They do need some moisture in the roots because the soil is frozen. They can't draw that moisture. So a lot of times, maybe once a month, I'll come out and just trickle a little bit of water. They don't need a lot. Or I'll come out and grab some handfuls of snow and just kind of set them on top of the pot, and it'll slowly kind of melt and trickle down. And that's good enough for them to keep them watered. Got that Bobo hydrangea. Here, we'll go up to the front yard also. There's my neighbor pulling up, doing some cleanup. But you can see how little room there is, and it's a long driveway to back your car out, and there are snow banks, and everything's white, so it makes it kind of hard to see where you're going. So yeah, that's why we have to use our patio to push a lot of the snow. But film this smoke bush here, smoke bush tree, because it is gorgeous. That gets absolutely stunning fall color, and it loses its leaves really late. It's a pretty late one. So we're always struggling fighting with snow to try and get the leaves cleared up before they get covered by snow. Pretty colors on the sedum here. We've got the serendipity allium. Again, and the Russian sage is pretty much defoliated. I usually leave that up. Kind of sticks up through the snow and looks interesting. And these yews and then juniper or whatever's here, these all get weighed down heavily by snow, but they just bounce right back. These were put in before we bought the house. Same thing with the boxwoods. I think the snow boxwoods tend to get winter burn here really bad, because we get, below zero temperatures for a week at a time, and really, really windy days in the winter. So a lot of boxwoods get terrible winter burn. These are usually covered by snow from clearing the sidewalk because our mailbox is on the house. So they seem to do great. There was a third one here that was already mostly dead when we moved in. Once I redid this bed, I took that one out. That's kind of where the this Weigella is now. We've got some impatiens in here that are toast. A lot of this is perennial. The hydrangea is looking pretty and some color on the hostas. And then that's a, why do I want to say Weigella again? It is not. Hellebore. It's a hellebore. And then this is ice ballet carex. These three. Pretty texture. That's semi-evergreen as well. I just kind of clean it up in the spring. This is an annual Rudbeckia. It is not hardy in this zone, so that will die. Same with this, these two. I'm just forgetting names. Those two annuals. Verbena. I do have a couple things to plant in here. Oh, my favorite, these begonias. They really got hit a little bit. Look at this one. That one still looks fresh. A little sheltered underneath. Surefire Rose Begonia. Loved those. I got my hands on 3 of them this year. I will be buying a lot next year. Here is the Pinky Dot Phlox that I talked about. Beautiful color. This is a big planter I'll have to clear. And this Coleus did not make it so well. Yeah, Coleus doesn't like high 20s so much. Although look at those. Those still have two little guys hanging on. But I'm shocked that the Nemesia still looks nice. Some nice color here with the heucheras. This Fothergilla, I think this is its first year. I just planted it this summer, so there are hints of color on it. I'm hoping next year it will establish and maybe give me a little bit more fall color. And this barberry has really beautiful color as well. It would get even brighter if it were in more sun. It's pretty shaded by the eave of the house, but that's okay. Then back here, these cabbages do look so nice. Sorry for the sniffles. It's very chilly out here. This is why I plant cabbages. They're so easy to seed, inexpensive, and they withstand a frost, and look how they pop out here. One day I'll be able to redo this side yard and make it a lot nicer, but for now, this is fine. Yeah. So I guess those are the garden updates. Day is it October 29th? 28th? I can't keep track of the days. It's Saturday, end of October. Geranium's still holding on too. These are pretty darn tough. You can see some bloom heads. I haven't been cleaning these up just because of the cold, but we'll just let them be. All right, I'm back. I paused briefly just to chat with some neighbors for a little while. But I realized I was going to show you on the porch, and then I thought I opened the shed, so I might as well just show you how I transition some of my things before they make their way inside. Just to protect things from the cold. Last night I pulled them into here. This mazo and this geranium I won't overwinter, but they just look so pretty. I couldn't bear to pull them out just yet. Oh, we got a little tree coming up in the middle. So I'll let them die peacefully in the shed as it gets cold. I do have some buckets full of things that I have cut, so I'll be taking those inside. These are all as I've cleared out containers and etc. I did save that Tradescantia that I said I probably wouldn't, but it just looks so beautiful and healthy, so we'll see. I quickly run out of space inside though once I start trying to bring things in and save them. I did tuck all the buckets of soil kind of back behind here. These bags are filled with potting soil. These buckets on this side are all compost from the compost bins a couple years ago. It doesn't take up that much space to store it. Of course, the huge pots, I keep most of the soil in those over the winter. it would take up a lot more space, but I do fit. Oh, sadly, we will be needing these shovels soon. So sad. I do fit a bunch of pots underneath here. I need to clear out some of these empty containers. I have catnip there, the last of it that I'm drying to give away. And then in here, I also arrange things so that I can overwinter perennials. Whatever perennials I can't get planted before the ground freezes, I will overwinter in here. And it is cluttered, but it's kind of nice to come out in the middle of the winter when there's nothing else to do and just give them a trickle of water, or I don't know. Gives me hope for the future. So here's the shed. Again, don't mind the clutter and the mess. Not the shed, the porch. All of my time and energy is spent outside right now trying to get cleaned up. So this will get cleaned up eventually, but I do transition a lot of things from out here before going into the house until I can make room in the house. So I've got this geranium I'll try and overwinter. I've got a couple of the Rex begonias. I've got that Persian shield. And my houseplants, a lot of my houseplants spend the summer out here too. So there's a Hoya, some succulents there. This begonia was outside. And again, I probably won't bring it in the house. Well, maybe, I don't know. Again, what am I going to have space for? I have all these grand intentions and then I quickly run out of space. This Senecio is in here too. Another one that Another one I don't think I will have success overwintering based on last year's experience, but worth a shot. And then these two sedum, they're the same thing. This one was in a lot more shade and this one was in full sun. So you can kind of see how differently they grow. That's lemon ball or lemon coral sedum. Same exact plant, just different packaging, depending on where you buy it from. For years, I've overwintered these on the porch, different versions of them. And then in the spring, they die back quite a bit. They are only hardy, when you look it up, down to about a zone 7, and I'm a zone 4. But this porch, while it's unheated, it is on the south side of the house, so it gets full sun all day in the winter. It does get well below freezing. You know, when we go below 0 outside, it is cold in here. I put a Christmas tree out here. I don't like to take it down until the spring because it is too cold to be out here. But these are hardier than they seem. They do die back quite a bit, but every year I trim them back, put them out in the sun, and they pop back up again. So screens are taken off the windows here. Improves the view outside for the winter time. And then, Christmas cactus, some more begonias. I have a poor, neglected Dracaena that just keeps clinging to life somehow. And then up here, this is kind of fun, that you can make arrangements once things have died back too. I made that last fall, actually. Went around the garden and just picked things that were cool textures, different tones, darker and lighter. So that's something fun. And then I have all my garlic here on the table and kind of underneath the table too, but I'll be planting this very soon too out in my new raised bed. And then these are just coleus cuttings. I had arrangements out here. More coleus cuttings. Those live for quite a while in water and they do grow roots. I'm not sure if I'll be trying to keep them over winter or not, but I'll enjoy them for now. And it's always sad to say goodbye to the garden, but I definitely need a break. I couldn't do this year round. I need everything to go to sleep and hibernate so that I can recuperate too, because while I am passionate about gardening, it is a lot of hard work. So I always appreciate the rest time in the winter. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and please subscribe.